In this video, I'm going to show you how to figure out what surfaces are represented by these equations, and we're going to use technology for this a bit. But before we do, let's just consider what these would look like in a two-dimensional plane. So for this first one, we have x squared plus z squared equals 1. And this should look familiar. You should look at this and think, oh, unit circle. And indeed, we can sketch it as such. So here is the x-axis, here is the z-axis. And then I'm going to go ahead and use technology to sketch this. There we are. There is my circle filled in really nicely with a radius of 1. So that's what it looks like in 2 dimensions. And now to think about it in 3 dimensions, we need to rotate things a little bit. So let's consider, and actually I'm going to color code this the same way you see graphs in GeoGebra. So the z-axis is blue in GeoGebra, the x-axis is red, and the y-axis is green. And that isn't quite in the right spot, so let me go ahead and move this. There we are. So this is the positive y-axis. Here, this is the positive x-axis and positive z-axis. So remember, we sketched this in the xz plane. So here is our x and our z. So we'd have our circle along this portion. So let's make this small circle here. And at this angle, it's not going to look as round. There it is. And it's going to travel along that is parallel with the y-axis. And I'm going to fix one thing before I continue this sketch to help this look three-dimensional. There we are. All right, so again, the x-axis here is in red, the z-axis is in blue, and the y-axis is in green. Now let's go ahead and see how GeoGebra does this. So you should be pretty familiar with getting to GeoGebra and going straight into classic mode and into 3D graphics. And I'm going to adjust my window here so we can see a little bit more of GeoGebra. There it is. Out of preference, I hide the XY plane, but that is a preference. You don't have to hide it. And so here we go. Ooh. There we are. X-axis in red, y-axis in green, z-axis in blue. And if you struggle to remember this, go ahead and plot the point 300, the point 030, and the point 004. And you could have picked any values. And then this one I can right-click to name it x-axis. I can change the color to red to match, and then I hide the point altogether and move it. And this is optional. You don't have to do this, but I like to do this. So take a moment, and if you'd like to label your axes, please finish that. Okay, so I have my axes labeled here, and I'm going to go ahead and type in x squared. And then rather than put plus, that'll keep me in my exponents, which will be weird. I'm going to erase that. Hit right arrow plus z squared equals 1. And there it is, just as we sketched it. It is a circle here on the XZ plane, so you can rotate this to view it. There we are. Ooh, on the XZ plane. And I'm getting, there it is, XZ plane, it is a circle. And it's a cylinder that's parallel that goes along the y-axis. I hope you found this video helpful.